If you would look at only one single number in order to see if your channel is growing, do you have an idea? What number would that be? In my opinion, that is the active subscriber count. And I actually did a large study of 3,000 channels, which reiterates how important active subscribers actually are. And by the way, if you want to know how high your active subscriber count is, then you could, for example, look at Morningfame's Velocity tab here, and there you have an estimate of your active subscriber count. And luckily, that would be the goal here. On my channel, this number is growing. So that is a really good sign. You probably remember in the last episode of this series where we talked about triggering the suggested videos algorithm, how important the active subscribers were there as well. And Alicia actually has a very good point here. She responded to that video. So interesting, I always wondered why subscribers seem to matter so much when only a small percentage of your viewers are subscribers. It's because they matter most in the beginning. View velocity. Yeah, your active subscribers are the people who keep coming back to watch your new uploads, and they are the first to watch it, and with that send positive signals to the YouTube algorithms, and then in turn the YouTube algorithm decides to promote your video more because your subscribers enjoyed it. And to dig deeper into that, I want to go through the different algorithms to get a much better understanding how each algorithm responds to the views from your active subscribers. Alright, here we are in the algorithm tab, and for your better understanding, let me show you how it looks for my channel. At first, of course, YouTube search and Google search is mostly to bring in new people to your channel, so it doesn't matter too much for our subscribers. Let's go over to the more obvious ones, which is obviously subscriptions tab and notifications. The subscriptions tab is 100% for your subscribers. That's the purpose of that tab. And obviously the views that I get through this tab are all 100% from my subscriber in yellow. But if you look at the notification, I actually always thought that notifications also only go out to subscribers. And it is actually not the case. As you see here in my case, 92% of views come from subscribers, the yellow, and you see the small black bars here, which is 8% of non-subscribers or visitors, as I call them. And in the study that I did, I saw that all channels in general get a small amount of views from non-subscribers via notifications, roughly 10 to 20% of the views. That is the normal usually. By the way, those non-subscribers you get through the notifications are your so-called semi-subscribers. So-called, I mean, there's no official name for those particular people, but I call them semi-subscriber. I explain them here. And they are basically people who continue to come back to watch your new videos, even though they are not subscribed to your channel. But let's move on where it's getting really interesting. Home is, for example, the one algorithm that brings in most of your subscribers. As you see here, I get 72% of views from subscribers and the rest from visitors or non-subscribers. So home is a mix of both. That said, I wondered, how does home look like depending on how big your channel is? Yeah, from small channels to big channels, how is the share of subscribers views there? And for that, I did a study of 3,000 channels, as I mentioned before. And here you see the results for the home algorithm. What you see here at the bottom, we have the subscriber count from very small to very large channels. And then here the share of views from subscribers. If we go back to my channel, we see here I have 72% of views from subscribers. So that means in this graph here, I lie at this position, on this level. All right. And what I'm plotting here is how high the percentage on average is, plus the dotted line. Half of all channels lie between these two lines. So we have the average and this band here between the dotted lines that gives you a good understanding of how much views from subscribers those channels get via the home algorithm. And what we see here in the graph is not actually that surprising. Stay tuned for the suggested videos algorithm. There is a surprise for you in store. But here it is basically like this, that in the beginning channels start out with a high percentage of views from subscribers. And then the more the channel grows, the further down it goes. Not because those bigger channels get less views from subscribers, but the other way around. They get more views from new visitors. So basically, the more you grow your channel, the more the home algorithm will promote your videos to new people. But certainly this number doesn't grow very small. Here, for 100,000 subscribers on average, we still have 30% of views coming from subscribers. So that means for the home algorithm, the subscribers continue to play a very big role, even if your channel is already really big. Now let's look at the suggested videos algorithm we all want to learn more about, right? And as you can see here, I get a fair share of views from subscribers, 1/3, and 2/3 are coming from new people. Now you have to know, once you have grown to a large channel, let's say 100,000 subscribers, then suggested videos will make up on average half of all the views that you get. So suggested videos is certainly at this point really important for the channel. So the big question is, how much share do you have from subscribers? And here we have the data from a study. At first, when the channel is still small, a big amount of views come from the subscribers. But the more the channel grows, it goes down, not because the views from subscribers are less, but because the views from non-subscribers grow. That's basically the growth stage of your channel. But then it was really surprising. As you see here, the average is going up. And half of the channels are between here. It's also going up in general. And that is really what I didn't expect. The more your channel grows, the more important for the suggested videos algorithm become your active subscribers. Interesting, right? You would think that the algorithm does so much promotion for the big channels, right? But in reality, it's really that they honed in on bringing back their subscribers to watch their new videos. So if you early on work on growing your active subscribers, I believe that you step by step get more promoted by the suggested videos algorithm, because it works this way. It needs viewers to watch your videos and analyze how their viewing behavior is. And your subscribers are just perfect for bringing this data to the suggested videos algorithm so that it can decide what to promote more. And maybe you're thinking that's super interesting that we have this increase of the subscriber view share here once the channels grow much larger. And this actually hints towards a shift that channels go through while they are growing. In my past videos, I often talked about that small channels first should focus on YouTube search, because that's the way how they get the foot in the door in order to get promoted by YouTube's algorithms, in that case the search algorithm. But later we always hear that the suggested videos algorithm gets more and more important. So there's this shift. You start out with YouTube search as a small channel, and then you are gradually shifting towards getting most of your traffic from the suggested videos algorithm. And the big question is, how does this transition look like? And because I did this study, I have really interesting information about that. So in the next video, I will be talking to you about this transition from small to large channel and how it looks like from the perspective of the algorithms. And if this episode is already out, then click here. And if not, then subscribe here and ring the bell so you don't miss this episode. And if you did not yet, then watch this series from the beginning where I study the YouTube algorithms in and out to really understand them. Cheers, my friends!